Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome executive producer, television personality, and one half of the dynamic mother and daughter duo, Melissa Rivers.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for being here. And I am absolutely beyond happy to be here with such an amazing group of people in the communications field. As you all know, my mom and I have a really special relationship. So I am honored that I can be here today to introduce her as the MC for these special awards. And as I'm sure some of you have caught on, despite the bickering and the meddling that was portrayed on part of season 3 of Joan and Melissa, Joan Knows Best, ? I couldn't be more grateful to have her as a mom. With that said, take a look at some of the highlights from this past season.
Joan, this is gonna shock the world.
Boundaries are not your strong suit.
Oh my God, oh my God.
You get into bed with almost every celebrity in town.
How do I get him on The Bachelor?
Mother, I'm sorry that I have values and morals.
Well, you didn't get him from my side.
And now we are pleased to announce our MC for this afternoon. Celebrating 50 years in the business, she is an entertainment legend of unparalleled accomplishment and talent, an internationally renowned comedian, award-winning talk show host, Tony-nominated actress, best-selling author, playwright, screenwriter, film director, lecturer, syndicated radio talk show host, jewelry designer, cosmetic company entrepreneur, and red carpet fashionista. Also the first woman to ever break the glass ceiling and have her own late-night talk show. She is also the woman who gave me the wisest communication advice ever. Remember, it's not who you know, it's whom. Most importantly, she is a beloved mother and grandmother. Introducing Joan Rivers.
First of all, I have a little bit of laryngitis, and hello to the people up there. You have good views too, but I'm talking down here because these are the better tables. But that is the first time Melissa ever spoke about me without starting it by, let me tell you something about that old bitch. So, just very quickly, I'll just tell you a little bit about the young bitch. She's executive producer of Fashion Police, which is the highest rated regular show on E these days, so we're very proud of that. You don't have to applaud, save it for the end. She's producer and executive producer and co-star of Joan and Melissa, Joan Knows Best, which is doing great this year, thank God. And also executive producer of our new hit internet talk show, In Bed with Joan, so she's makes me a very proud mother. So nice to have you here. And I'm looking around here very quietly, and I'm going to introduce the Dais first, which is going to take the whole fucking meal. So, but I just want to say, if any of you have to leave, leave now, because the traffic is horrific. And according to the New York Times, by 2014, there will be 12 million new automobiles in New York City. So if you want to cross the street, now's the time. I'm also thrilled to be here. I'd be more thrilled if you were plastic surgeons and it was Freebie Monday, but otherwise, nice to have you. And this luncheon is, seriously, because we've all been talking to the press, it's a big honor for all the winners. It would be a bigger honor if it was a dinner, but for a lunch, but it's a big enough honor. Now, I'm so bad with names. Here we go. Starting from my far right, someone who I adore, seriously. A lot of people here who I've pitched to and nothing, but a lot of people here I have pitched to with great success, and I think you're all wonderful. So starting from my far right, someone who I adore, Bonnie Hammer, chairman of NBC Universal Cable Entertainment Group, and a woman who just between E! Style and Bravo has turned more men gay than Liza and me combined. So next to her, as we know, from E! again, who I adore. Next to her is, let me just read it here. Next to Bonnie and presenting the award is a man so rich that Oprah Winfrey borrows money from him, Ryan Seacrest, and you've heard that joke a lot. Next to Ryan is Jackie Kelly, who is CEO of IPG Media Brands North America, and what I read about her charitable works on adoptions of entire African villages, which is amazing. Jackie is considered by many women to be the Angelina Jolie of CEOs, but she does not throw up her lunch. So that's interesting. Next to her is Tom Curley, former CEO of Associated Press, and among his accomplishments, as we know, responsible for perhaps 3 of the biggest stories in the past decade: Arab Spring, ousting of Saddam Hussein, and the most recent, as I'm sure you all are aware, Kim Kardashian's terrible depression when she found out there is a 50% chance her baby may be white. And brilliantly done. Next to Mr. Curley is another woman who I worship every time I see her at her feet, a woman who has more Tonys than an Italian streetwalker, Audra McDonald. And I just want to say, yes, I was going to use her name last. I just want to see, when I look at the dais, that there are women of color on the dais, which is great, because you used to come to these things and it would be whiter than Mel Gibson's Rosh Hashanah bacon party. So it's nice to see that. Presenting the award to Audra will be, here we go, Christine Quinn, who is not here yet, but she will be here. She is out trying to compete with Anthony Weiner right now. She's having a picture of vagina taken as we spoke, and you do what you have to do, girls. Next to Christine is Catherine Mathis. I'm so bad on names. Mathis, head of, I love this title, Corporate Communications of Standard & Poor's Media Services. Ratings. Oh, hello? All right. She is the immediate past president, however, of the New York Women in Communications, and obviously a great communicator. And I'm not going to stop in the introductions, but the best communicator ever was my mother, God bless her. When she said to my father, "Not tonight, Maya," he knew that she meant it. Next to Catherine is Liz Kaplow, President and CEO of Kaplow Communications, and the President-elect of the New York Women in Communications, which is great. She is a woman who has moved up so fast that she makes many of us think about Adele and an all-you-can-eat buffet. Next to her, that will go in Fashion Police and get a major laugh, so. Next to her is Josh Sapin, who I adore. Love him, president, and we've had fun together. CEO of AMC, a man who turned, as you know, AMC with 4 great shows: Breaking Bad, Mad Men, Walking Dead, and The Killing. Great. 4 great hours on AMC. Now he just has to find another 168 hours, and there'll be some communication center. But can I announce what we're going to announce? Yeah. His big success is WE, which is a network for women. But today, and he's allowed me to say this, he is announcing an older network called PTV for older women with bladder problems. And I am proud to say we will be doing a show, Betty White and I, called Joan and Betty, Joe Knows What. So please look forward to that. Next to Josh is one of my current bosses, and I love her, easy to work with, God bless her, Kim Martin. She is president and general manager of WE TV. I have loved her. If you read in the biographies, she's been around and gone up even through Animal Planet. She helped create my favorite show, and when it was called originally When Dogs Attack Bears, and it got 0 ratings, and Kim single-handedly turned it into When Dogs Hump Bears, and it went right through the roof. And it's a great, great show. I still watch it. Now, moving over. To my left is Nancy Weber, Executive Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer of the Meredith Publishing Group. Yes, Nancy is also the current president of New York Women in Communications, and Nancy has made Meredith into a huge conglomerate. I read all my homework, which wasn't easy because getting people to read today is really almost harder than ordering a kosher meal in Lufthansa. So I appreciate, I get very upset that people don't read. Speaking of reading, next to her is Susan Schultz, who is the editorial brand director for Cosmopolitan Magazine, president of New York Women in Communications Foundation Board, and you have really kept Cosmo, which I love, booming. Her latest accomplishment, which again, they've allowed me to announce, is she has gotten Burt Reynolds to come back to do another nude centerfold, only this time his hands will be covering his catheter. Sitting next to Susan, that tells you how old some of us are. Sitting next to Susan is Joanna Coles, who is editor-in-chief of Cosmopolitan Magazine. And I love Cosmo, and please keep those little perfume ads with the perfume in them. I beg you, because I have not bought a fucking bottle of perfume since the Eisenhower administration. It's just great. I just rub and walk out the door. And I take my hat off to you for that. Okay, moving next is, which I can't believe how pretty you are, presenting the award to Joanna is Val Demings, former police chief. Is that really you? You are so good looking. I was waiting for like Butcho, you know what I mean? You are just, you're fabulous. Is Val Demings. She is former police chief of Orlando. I really, honest to God, I was expecting like Rosie O'Donnell. Just great. I take my hat off to you, because to be police chief in Orlando between old Jews and children and dwarfs and hookers and all those kids sweating in those stinky animal costumes at Disneyland, my God, it's not easy, so I'm thrilled to see you. Next to Val is Ann Finucane. Well, that's the first. I don't know who the second is going to be. Next is Ann Finucane, who is the Global Strategy and Marketing Officer of Bank of America. And I think it's great. I love your title, Global Strategy and Marketing Officer. I think because of that, you'll never get fired, because nobody has any clue what that does. So I know it's important, you wouldn't be sitting here. So I'm glad we're friends now. Presenting to Ann is Mika Brzezinski. Ha, Mika, got it right. Lucky woman to be able to wake up every morning with Joe Scarborough, but doesn't have the burden of sleeping with him. So I'm thrilled. You've heard that before. Next to Mika is Mindy Grossman, who is CEO of HSN. And Mindy was named, as many of you know, Forbes magazine named her in 2012 as one of the most powerful women in the world. And later on, after a couple of drinks, she will bench press Suzanne Summers for us to show that is true. Presenting the award to Mindy is Iman, another bad looker, whose name in Swahili actually means, who cares if Bowie walks out? I get half the stuff. But the way you look, he ain't going nowhere. Next to Iman is Kara Swisher, one of America's most influential authors, technology consultant for the Wall Street Journal, and a huge voice on the internet. And luckily we'll be able to hear your voice, because I always say, we don't hear a voice, we don't hear a voice. So it's wonderful. And last but not least is a man I've known for 35 years. We were very young, very much in love. And I'm saying this now with pride, Barry. It's time to tell the truth. Melissa, kiss Daddy. I don't care what Dion thinks. Cheekbones don't lie. That's all I have to say about that one. And now I am thrilled to be here. As I said, we have a big show, so I'm not going to take much longer of your time. I just want to say, really, you're a great-looking group of women. I was looking at all of you. You could be in the waiting room waiting for auditions to be Tom Cruise's next wife. I mean, you are just amazing. And the power on this dais and the estrogen coming from this group is power estrogen has been hitting me for the last 2 hours to the point that I'm now ovulating for the first time since Ronald Reagan was president, so I'm feeling frisky. I also seriously just want to give advice, because every single person that interviewed us said, is it hard to be a woman in this business? You have to choose your time and divide your time between business and family and how difficult it is. I just want to say, because all the women up here know the answer to that, but to the younger women, to the scholarship girls, yes, the next generation coming up here for the dais, I just want to say, don't worry about that. 23% of the women on this dais have had to choose, they say, between the power positions and their families. And we want to give all of you out there this advice. When it comes to having a choice between a career and family, I think I speak for the entire dais. Fuck your family. No, please. Families come and go. Jobs and careers are forever, forever. Just remember, your family is not going to pay for your home health care when you're 97, but a golden parachute will, God damn it. And on that piece of sage advice, I would like to introduce to you the current president of the New York Women in Communications, Nancy Weber.
Thanks, Joan. Well, that's enough for me. So would you please now welcome Joan Rivers back to the podium.
We're trying to figure out if we should eat or not. Should we take a vote on the dais? But before, or why we eat, or if we don't eat, it gives me pleasure to, I didn't realize we were the first to introduce you. They asked me to introduce Kim Martin, which is terrific for me because, again, you forget how good-looking women can still be in business. Kim is one of the rare combinations where beauty and brains really, really go together. As you know, she is president and general manager of WE TV, and she oversees all aspects, I mean everything, of the network, including the marketing and the programming and the production and the scheduling and the digital media and the new business opportunities. And I've said to her over and over again, get a fucking assistant. But she is passionate, and she has a great vision, and we all hear about the vision, and we all become such a team at WE. She loves WE, and also she's very busy working with Public Affairs Initiative, WE Empowers Women. And that she has time to do this truly is just amazing, because she also, scholarship people, has children and a family and a good body, so learn. I love Kim, and let me tell you why I love Kim, because when you have a problem, you can get to her, and she listens to you. She listens to your arguments, she listens to your thoughts, and then does what she damn pleases, but she listens. And she is smart, and she is beautiful, and AMC Networks are so lucky to have her, as we at Joan and Melissa, Joan knows best, are. She adds a great deal to this distinguished dais, and so please welcome with great pleasure and my honor, a really great boss, Kim Martin.
Thanks so much, Joan.
And now, returning to the podium, Joan Rivers.
Very quickly, it's been a great afternoon. We just want to remind all of you to go online to thecharitybuzz.com and bid for the millions of amazing prizes there. And next year, please mark your calendars. 2014 Matrix Awards will take place right back here, April 28th. And congratulations to everybody. And the dessert was good, but not worth the calories. Thank you all so much for coming.